Catherine Knight killed her partner and wanted to feed him to his children. Issei Sagawa began receiving hundreds of love confessions from Japanese girls after he ate a European student. We will talk about these and other horrifying cannibals in today's video. Turn on the lights, check if the door is locked, and get ready, we're starting. Our monstrous stories will begin in Russia, where in 2017, Krasnodar was shaken by the story of Dmitry and Natalia Bakshiv. On the surface, they seemed like an ordinary couple. He was a stocky laborer. With dark eyes, she was a middle-aged nurse, with a tired look, but their normalcy was just a facade. Everything was revealed when a worker found Dmitry's lost phone with horrifying selfies. In them, the Bakshivs posed with a severed hand in his mouth, sticking fingers up his nose. From this selfie, people began to delve into the hellish world of the family. The police raided their dorm room at the military school. What they found there horrified the officers. In the refrigerator, there were jars of canned meat, frozen pieces in the freezer, and pots with food remnants. At first, the couple denied everything, but then Dmitry confessed. He killed a 35-year-old woman he had been drinking with. During the drinking session, the murdered woman allegedly started making advances toward Dmitry, which enraged Natalia. On his wife's orders, Dmitry stabbed the drinking companion with a knife. The investigation proved one murder, but rumors spoke of 30 victims over 20 years. Neighbors recalled missing guests from the apartment. Natalia is currently serving 10 years in a high-security prison. Her husband did not live to reach the colony, dying under unknown circumstances in the hospital. The residents of the village of Berezovka, near Khabarovsk, also experienced a terrifying neighbor, a cannibal. Here lived Sofia Ivanovna Zhukova, an old woman who became a nightmare come true. At 80 years old, she was nicknamed the Ushuri Tiger for a series of murders. In December 2005, 8-year-old Nate disappeared. She entered the building with Zhukova and vanished. 2 weeks later, her remains were found near the house, but no one suspected the old woman. In 2013, the cannibal's friend named Anastasia disappeared after an argument. The facade of the grandmother was revealed to the world in 2019, when Vasily, a janitor renting a room from Sofia, was hacked to death with an axe. Part of the remains were soon found in a trash bin. The police found suspicious meat in the pensioner's refrigerator, as well as an axe caked with blood. At first, Sofia did not confess, but then she bragged to her cellmates about the other murders. She killed all three. The girl for being noisy, the friend for boasting, the janitor for attempted rape. There were rumors that Sofia made aspic and pies from human meat, which she shared with neighbors. She died in 2020 from COVID, avoiding trial. Australia. Let's leave Russia for a moment and move to Australia in the early 2000s. Catherine Knight. A 44-year-old woman with a rough face worked at a slaughterhouse, skillfully handling a knife. Since childhood, she was known for her cruelty and high level of aggression. Her victim was John Price, a partner who decided to leave the unstable woman. Catherine didn't let him go. At night, she stabbed John 37 times, skinned the body, boiled the head with vegetables, and roasted the pieces. The table was set for his children with a note saying "Eat." Her butcher skills shocked the police. The skin was removed and hanging. Before entering the house, the head was boiling in a pot. The police arrived just in time for dinner. Catherine grew up in a violent family, survived abuse, and learned to see everything living as just meat at the slaughterhouse. Psychologists speak of sadism and borderline disorder. After the murder, she attempted to end her life by taking a massive dose of pills. However, the cannibals managed to save her. The court sentenced her to life imprisonment. It was a shock, the first case of such a severe sentence being given to a woman in Australia. Her house was demolished, but the memory of the atrocities still lives on. Returning to Russia, in the Urals, Vasily Smirnov. A cannibal whose sullen face was the mask of a monster. A sturdy and silent man from the village of Argayash, he looked like a typical laborer. But in 1997, his true nature came to light. A local resident disappeared, and the trail led to Smirnov's house. The police entered and froze. In the basement lay dismembered bodies, and in the freezer, frozen meat. Traces of cooking were found in the kitchen. Smirnov confessed he killed 8 people and ate their flesh. His victims were drinking buddies, neighbors, and random guests. He lured them home, killed them with an axe or a knife, butchered and cooked them. He told the police that he didn't want to spend money on food, so he boiled, fried, and stored the excess. Neighbors recalled how he would treat them to meat. After the investigation, his background became clear. The investigation proved 8 murders, but rumors spoke of dozens. Smirnov's cold-bloodedness was frightening. No remorse for the victims, only indifference. Many factors influenced the maniac. Poverty, alcohol, psychopathy. He grew up in poverty, drank, and occasionally erupted in fits of rage. Psychiatrists declared him sane. All of Smirnov's murders were committed consciously. In 1998, he was sentenced to life imprisonment, and in the 2000s, he died in prison. Our journey takes us to Novokuznetsk in the 1990s. Alexander Spizivtsev, a resident of Novokuznetsk, earned the nickname the Siberian Cannibal. Thin, pale, with empty eyes, he became the city's nightmare. His peak of murders occurred in 1996. It was during that time that residents complained about a stench coming from his apartment. The police broke in and were stunned. In the bathtub lay the body of a girl, in a pot was flesh soup, and bones were scattered around the room. And amidst all the horror was the killer's mother, Ludmila, an accomplice to the crimes. Spizivtsev lured children from the street, often girls aged 10 to 15. He killed them with a knife, dismembered them, and ate them. His mother helped, disposed of the remains, and cooked. 19 murders were proven, but there could have been up to 80 victims. A diary with sadistic entries was found in the apartment. Spizivtsev hated people, especially women, after an unsuccessful romance. His mother, fanatical and domineering, fueled his madness. Schizophrenia made him a monster who knew no mercy. In 1997, he was sent to a high-security psychiatric hospital. His mother received 13 years in prison. Spizivtsev is alive and still behind bars. His case is one of the darkest chapters in Russia. In Kazan during the 1980s. Here we encounter the story of Alexander Suklitin, also known as the Gardener Cannibal. This tall and calm man with a kind face was a school watchman. But in Suklitin's garden house, hell was unfolding. From 1979 to 1985, he killed 7 women, luring them to his home. He killed with a hammer and knife, dismembered them, and ate the flesh. His lover and friend helped him, a true team of cannibals. Suklitin was a master of deception, kindly inviting women for tea, then suddenly attacking them. He roasted meat, cooked soups, and even treated his neighbors. The police caught him in 1985, finding bones in the garden and meat in his cellar. He confessed, saying he loved the taste of his victims. His sadism was shocking. He enjoyed the process of killing and the subsequent cooking. 7 victims were proven, but there could have been others. His lover received 15 years, his friend was executed, and Suklitin was also executed in 1987. Suklitin despised women. He saw women as prey. His garden became a graveyard, and his house a hellish kitchen. Neighbors still recall his treats with a shiver. Suklitin is an example of how a true monster can hide under the guise of a kind person. We leave Russia forever and sail to the United States at the beginning of the 20th century. At that time, one of the most terrifying cannibals in history lived in the States, Albert Fish. This gray-haired old man with kind eyes and a soft voice looked like a harmless grandfather. But behind the old man's smile lurked a true nightmare. Fish was caught in 1934, after the disappearance of 10-year-old Grace Budd. Fish wrote a letter to her family, where he sadistically described how he killed the girl, dismembered her, and ate her. This was not the first murder case. He confessed to dozens of victims. Fish lured children with candy or promises of work. He killed with a knife, hammer, or saw, and then prepared a dish. His favorite was the meat from the buttocks. He fried it with onions. 3 murders were proven, but he boasted of 100. His childhood was atrocious. A hungry life in an orphanage, constant beatings, violence from peers and others. All this bred sadism and religious delusions in Albert. He considered his actions a sacrifice to God. Psychiatrists found numerous disorders in him, but the court declared him sane. In 1936, Albert was executed in the electric chair. Fish went to his death with a smile, saying it would be the ultimate pleasure. His letters and confessions still chill the souls of people around the world. Let's turn our attention to the sunny Central African Republic. In the 1970s, at that time, Jean Bedel Bokassa, a dictator and self-proclaimed emperor, was in power. This hefty man with a loud voice ruled with particular cruelty. He was caught for cannibalism in 1979, when human remains were found in his palace. He ate his enemies to absorb their strength, or so he told journalists. Bokassa killed political opponents, students, and even schoolchildren. Large stocks of human meat were found in his refrigerator, and servants reported that he often ordered special dishes. Once, Bokassa allegedly served guests roasted human meat, passing it off as beef. Several murder cases were proven, although rumors suggest Bokassa killed and ate around 100 people. What could have made him like this? Probably, aside from the desire to rule over people. Bokassa grew up in poverty, served in the army, and once he became a leader, he lost the sense of what was permissible. In 1987, he was overthrown and sentenced to death. But later, he was pardoned. He died in 1996, leaving behind the legend of the cannibal emperor. Bokassa is an example of how money and power can turn a person into a monster. Let's leave Africa for cold Germany of the 21st century. It was here, 25 years ago, that Armin Meiwes, a polite and quiet programmer, shocked the world. He posted ads on the internet, looking for someone willing to be eaten, and found a certain Brandis who agreed. During their meeting, they engaged in sexual intercourse, after which Meiwes cut off his lover's genitals and attempted to cook them. Brandis assisted him with everything. Later, when Brandis had been bleeding for several hours, Armin finished him off and ate him over several months. Meiwes fried the meat with garlic, made soups, and froze pieces. He confessed that he had dreamed of cannibalism since childhood, inspired by children's fairy tales. The victim went to his death voluntarily, as Meiwes claimed, but this did not diminish the horror of his act. The police found the video and the man's remains in 2002. Meiwes received 8 years for manslaughter, but later the sentence was changed to life imprisonment. Meiwes called his act of cannibalism an act of love. Let's move to Japan in 1981. Issei Sagawa, a short, slender student with a quiet voice, became an example of outrageous lawlessness and impunity. Sagawa was studying in Paris when his dark fantasies came to the surface. His victim was Renée Hartevelt, a 25-year-old Dutch classmate. Sagawa lured her to his home under the pretext of translating poetry. There, he shot her with a rifle and then spent 2 days eating her body. He cut pieces, cooked them, ate them raw, photographed the process. Sagawa wanted to absorb her beauty. He confessed that he had dreamed of cannibalism since his youth, inspired by female flesh. He was caught when he tried to dispose of the remains in suitcases in a puck. The police noticed the blood. He was arrested, but France deported him to Japan. There, psychiatrists declared him insane, but he was released from the psychiatric hospital after 5 years. Sagawa became a celebrity. He wrote books, gave interviews, and even appeared in films. He died in 2022, never having been punished for his actions. His case is unique. A cannibal became a star. What is more frightening in this story? His cold-bloodedness or the fact that the world accepted him? Back to the United States of America. But now, it's the 1970s. Otis Toole, a dirty, bearded drifter with a vacant stare, forever entered the annals of criminology. Together with his partner Henry Lee Lucas, he roamed the country, killing and eating victims. Toole confessed to hundreds of murders, but only about 6 were proven. His cannibalism became known to the public in 1983 when he described how he roasted the victim's meat over a campfire. One story is about a girl whom he stabbed and ate with barbecue sauce. Toole grew up in hell, enduring beatings, abuse, and horrifying poverty. He was mentally challenged, suffering from epilepsy and schizophrenia. With Lucas, they became angels of death, killing for food, money, and pleasure. Toole even said that human flesh tastes better than chicken. He was caught in 1983 for arson, and then they also linked him to murder. In 1996, he died in prison from cirrhosis, leaving behind controversies. How many victims did the drifter really have? Let's visit Africa one last time. Here we are once again greeted by a dictator. The ruler of Uganda, Idi Amin, nicknamed the Eater of People. This large man with a broad smile ruled the country from 1971 to 1979. He was repeatedly accused of cannibalism. Servants recounted how he kept the heads of his enemies in the refrigerator and ate their flesh. One of the ministers allegedly saw Amin cut a piece from a dead body and taste it. Amin killed up to 500,000 people, including political opponents and random citizens. Cannibalism was part of his intimidation tactics. He believed that eating his enemies gave him strength. There is insufficient evidence for all the murders, but the rumors were confirmed by Amin's soldiers. In 1979, he was overthrown, after which he fled to Saudi Arabia and died there in 2003, avoiding trial. Amin's rule is a dark stain in Africa's history. We return to the United States of America during the period from 1978 to 1991. During this time, a young man named Jeffrey Dahmer instills fear in the residents. This blond man with a soft voice and shy smile killed 17 men and boys. He was caught in 1991 when a victim escaped and led the police. In his apartment, they found disgusting evidence of Dahmer's inhumane cruelty. Heads in the refrigerator, bones in barrels, meat in the freezer. Dahmer lured guys home under various pretexts, then drugged them with sleeping pills mixed into their food and killed them. And then Dahmer dissolved most of the bodies in acid, but some pieces he fried or boiled. His favorite delicacy was the heart. Dahmer particularly emphasized the charm of this organ. The killer photographed the process of killing, thus creating a gruesome archive. 17 murders were proven. All involved acts of cannibalism. Dahmer grew up in solitude, was fascinated by anatomy, and then went off the rails. Psychiatrists found he had tendencies towards necrophilia and psychopathy. In 1992, he was sentenced to life imprisonment, and in 1994, Dahmer was beaten to death in prison by fellow inmates. From the Bakshevs of Krasnodar to the American Dahmer, these cannibals showed what people are capable of when they lose their humanity. Who shocked you the most? Write in the comments which story horrified you the most. Give a like if you made it to the end and subscribe, as there are many more chilling mysteries ahead.